What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today I finally have my playthrough video for the treasure map Capone, and I know it has been a little while since, you know, this has been out and I haven't had a video up, but of course the treasure map was literally live the day I was leaving the United States to come back home, so I didn't really get too much of an opportunity to record a video for you guys showing my personal teams up against this content. I did upload a video showing the teams that I was planning on using, and most of the teams are relatively similar. There are some changes here and there due to supports and some very slight unit changes. Most of it is still the same though. So here we are against the Capone intrusion fight, and you know, this is pretty much the exact same team, and this team is the one I'll be using for the entire duration of the map. I'm using Sheng's crew as the captain to avoid the special bind that occurs on the last stage, but of course, you know, if you've got the rogue, he kind of deals with that as well. But another good thing about Sheng's crew is that you get the multi-turn chain lock, which is very nice to have. If you have Bonnie as the friend captain, obviously you have one of the turns of chain lock dealt with, but I believe there is an attack down based on your chain multiplier, and I think you need to exceed 2.5. So the fact that Sheng's crew can just cover the chain lock over multiple stages just makes things a bit easier. Another thing that's interesting about the Capone fight is the fact that there is like a mob stage on stage 2, and the reason why they do that is to enable you to get the highest damage from Bonnie's special. Remember that Bonnie's color affinity with her special does increase the more recovery slots you consume, so they give you like basically 2 turns to consume as much recovery slots as possible to ensure that you get her high 2.75 times color affinity boost. Realistically, doesn't really matter that much in my opinion. I don't think it's the end all be all, unless if you are in very high nav level territory, like 100 plus, maybe even 200 plus nav levels, and those minute details are probably going to be very important. But at nav level 30, as I am in this clip, not really going to matter as much. So, of course, we have the really powerful special of Koala that we used in the previous stage to get around the bind and stuff like that. But Hack is such a good unit here. Getting around barriers, removing defense up, removing threshold, like just such a ridiculously good unit in this quest. And then you Rogue and the Blackbeard to get around gimmicks, as well as giving us an attack and an orb boost, and then Bonnie, of course, to change our slots, give us chain boundary, which we already have a chain lock, as well as giving us a color affinity special, and also inflicting 1.5 increased damage taken towards the enemy. Moving on now to the first Battle Rush boss. This is the one versus Duval, and this is the one with the lowest HP threshold, but I do feel like this boss is actually very annoying. The team that we're using here is using the Luffy, Law, and Kid as captains to duplicate something at the end of the quest. It isn't a guaranteed dupe drop, unfortunately. It is only a chance, but there have been a couple of times thus far that I've used this team, and I've been able to dupe drop the 56 times ticket drop, so I've been able to get like 112 tickets for a run, which is actually really good. So just for that component alone, you know, if you get that to happen like 10 times, that's 560 additional tickets. So if you think about it in that manner, that if you're able to play a lot and get a lot of dupe drops, like this could be actually very valuable. We are using the Garp with the support of Super Tandem Sengoku to give him a 1.75 attack and orb boost. Color affinity is also given to us from Garp's special. Garp's special and his super type will enable us to remove the Rainbow Shield and the defense up. We need to remove an additional 1 turn of the Rainbow Shield, which is why we have the killer support attached to Luffy, Law, Kid. And then because we have Ace on the team, we can actually get the Super Tandem Sabo to give us a chain lock on this stage as well, which is so good. So getting a huge chain lock, color affinity, attack and orb boost, and then also the Super Tandem from Garp gives us a lot of damage that can take down Duval for pretty much the extended period of this map. Moving on now to the second Battle Rush boss versus Trafalgar Law. This one is also one that I did a little bit of changing around. We're using Fujitora as the main captain. We have CatDog in the bottom right position, so that character will switch into the captain spot once we get to the final stage. But another character that we have on the team that's kind of shifted is we now have Izo and Okiku, which is what we're using to wave clear the second stage. And this does multiple things for us, because not only does it wave clear it to make things faster, but Izo and Okiku give us 3 turns of a 3.5 chain lock. So by doing that, it means when we reach the last stage, the enemy does not inflict us with a bad chain lock, so that's really great. So it's a huge asset to the team that we're able to do that. So with this, we can use the support of Ace as well to get us a color affinity boost, so we do not trigger the effect of Trafalgar Law, because there is an interrupt if you use color affinity, so that's something you do have to take note of. And then Shanks is just kind of here because he can get around the Rainbow Shield, and Kara and Wanda can have the Brûlé support, so there's just one less special that we have to activate to remove the slots. The third Battle Rush boss is against Eustace Captain Kidd, and this is by far the easiest of the Battle Rush bosses, just due to the fact that if you have Shanks crew, the 6+ Shanks crew as your captain, that's basically all you need. Like, you don't actually really need that much else in order to get through it, due to the fact that, you know, Shanks crew in their dual form, when you hit a perfect, you do end of turn damage that deals with the resilience. You deal a special bind due to the captain effect. You have a super switch that can give you a 2.25 times attack boost, and then you have obviously color affinity or base attack boost depending on who your captain is. You get rid of the block slots due to the Shanks crew special. You have the chain lock that gets around the other gimmicks. It's a one-man army. You know, it's just the redhead pirates taking out the kid pirates. It is what it is. And then, of course, we have the final Battle Rush boss versus Bartholomew Kuma, and this one we're using the int-driven squad, mainly int-driven, with Doflamingo, with the Mr. 3 support, because we have to do a special reverse, and because I wanted to use Killer as the captain because he gives us more points, and because I just wanted to use him as the captain, we're using Kid as the sub. Normally, you could get around this by just using, you know, Super Tandem Kid as the captain, and his super class special will give -1 cooldown to Driven and Striker, so that's the way that you kind of get around the special reverse here. But by using Killer as the captain, we don't get that. So we're using the Doflamingo, which provides multiple purposes, actually. You know, he actually gets around the attack down as well for the crew. And then we can use the Killer special to get around the Rainbow Shield and give us a color affinity boost. You can use his super class prior to that to get below 50%. To use the special of Killer to get a overwritable attack boost, so that when you use Kid special, you can actually get an attack boost and an orb boost out of that. So in later nav levels, this strategy will work wonders, and then you get access to Super Tandem as well. This team is just bonkers and will do lots of damage towards Kuma. Finally, we make it to the final boss versus Kizaru Borsalino, and this is going to be using, you know, the new boosters of Blackbeard and you Rogue once again, Bonnie friend captain, no real surprises here. This time we're using Sabo as the captain. Now this is not something that I was originally planning. I was originally planning to use the Final Tap Luffy as our main captain, but this does equate to more points. So we're using Sabo with the Koala sub, and this is really cool here because we can use Koala a little bit later on to help us remove the bind. And we have the Anniversary Luffy on the crew, which with his special we can get around that Despair, and you see that once the Despair is removed, the badly matching slots that are int are actually changed into the recovery slots, which Bonnie can abuse, which is fantastic. But then we've got Blackbeard, which can just give us a full board of slots anyway. Sabo special and his super class can provide color affinity and a chain boundary effect. So in terms of damage, like, this team does absurd damage on the mini boss and the final boss as well. Because when we reach the final stage, we're going to have an orb boost from Rogue, we're going to have an attack boost from Koala, as well as removing all of the gimmicks. And then, of course, we've got another color affinity boost from Bonnie, and Sabo will still give us the chain boundary, which is carrying over from the previous stage. So that's pretty much it. Those are my teams that I'm currently using in this treasure map versus BEGE. I'm not really planning to do any more pulls or change my teams from here. I'm not planning to do crazy amounts of runs in this treasure map, but overall, it is what it is, and I'm really looking forward to what is next, you know, coming for One Piece Treasure Cruise as we head towards the anniversary. But that is going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.